The movie opens with Eric, a man stepping off a ship onto a foggy, abandoned island. The atmosphere is eerie and silent, not a soul in sight. Eric quickly finds a car, jumps in, and speeds off down an empty road. His eyes barely leave the small red bag resting on the passenger seat beside him. After driving for a while, he pulls over next to another parked car. From the red bag, he pulls out a set of license plates, swapping them between the two vehicles with calm precision. It's clear this isn't random. Every move has been planned long in advance. Eric then treks across rugged ground until he reaches a house perched by a stormy coastline, the meeting point where his partners are supposed to regroup after a massive art theft. He draws his gun and carefully sweeps through each room. Suddenly, he hears someone call his name. Panicked, Eric rushes outside, shouting for Denise, the first person meant to arrive, but she's gone. Instead, he finds their stolen painting lying abandoned by the sea, and nearby, a dark pool of blood. Realizing something terrible has happened, Eric races back inside, grabs a bucket, and starts frantically scrubbing away the stains. Then, he spots Denise's bracelet by the water. It hits him. Denise has been murdered. Afraid his partners will suspect him, he drops the bracelet into the bloody bucket and throws it into the sea. Moments later, Matt shows up, worried about his missing mother, Denise. Eric lies smoothly, claiming he just found the painting here and that Denise must have stepped out. When Matt asks about her car, Eric says it's parked right next to his. The two men seem uneasy, but Eric hides his guilt. Then, unexpectedly, they kiss, revealing their secret romantic relationship. Not long after, Paul arrives, the fourth member of their crew. Together, the three men stare at the stolen painting, worth a staggering $40 million. They can't believe Denise would disappear without warning. Convinced she'll return in the morning, they decide to stay the night. Eric collects everyone's phones and seals them inside the red bag before tossing it into the ocean, trying to erase any evidence. He keeps only his gun close. Suddenly, a strange sound echoes from the sea, deep, haunting, almost human. The men go into a trance, walking like sleepwalkers toward the water. When they snap out of it, they're confused and terrified. Over dinner, they try to rationalize what happened, blaming exhaustion, though Matt still can't stop worrying about his mother. Later, Paul confronts Eric outside. He knows about Eric's affair with Matt and accuses him of killing Denise to protect their secret. Eric denies it fiercely, but inside the house, Matt discovers the same bucket Eric threw away, back again. Inside it, Denise's bracelet. Matt explodes in rage, now convinced Eric murdered his mother. Tension between the three men spirals out of control. Then, a frantic knock. A terrified girl appears, begging for help. Eric and Paul rush out and find their friend, Pixie, half drowned on the beach. Eric revives her with CPR and carries her back to the house. The girls, Noah, Pixie, and Opal, explain their boat capsized and they barely made it ashore. Their names sound like something out of a fairy tale. To cover their tracks, Eric, Paul, and Matt pretend they're hosting a wild bachelor party. When the girls ask for a phone, Eric lies. There's a no phones rule. He promises they'll help in the morning. While showing Noah the washroom, Paul sneaks the painting's map tube under a bed. Then, to his horror, he spots the red bag again, the same one Eric threw into the sea, somehow back in the house. Panicked, he hides it and tells Matt. Now both men are convinced Eric is hiding something. Eric walks in, urging them to stay calm. Just one night, he insists. In the morning, we give the girls the car keys and leave. That night, they all sit down to play Two Truths and a Lie. The girls' answers are unsettling. Noah says she's a princess. Pixie claims she's a kung fu expert and even shows off a playful kick. Opal says she's a mind reader, then looks straight at Eric and asks coldly, "Why do you have a gun?" The power suddenly cuts out. Eric storms outside in anger. Pixie follows and starts seducing him. Inside, Noah charms Paul, and Opal flirts with Matt. Each man pairs off with a mysterious girl. But just as things turn intimate, that same eerie voice calls out from the ocean. The men freeze and fall into another trance. When they awaken, chaos surrounds them, blood splatters, and Matt and Opal are gone, torn apart by something unseen. Pixie screams, accusing Eric of killing them, but he insists the same strange force killed Denise earlier. He grabs her gun, desperate to investigate. Then the voice returns, pulling Eric and Paul back toward the sea in another trance. When they regain consciousness, they find yet another mutilated corpse on the shore. Paul realizes the voice is the true killer, and they'll need earplugs to survive. They stuff wet tissue into their ears and retreat to the house, shaken. But Pixie spots them hiding the map, and an argument breaks out. Their lies unravel. Pixie, furious, stabs Eric in the chest and flees. Wounded, Eric is helped by Paul. They replug their ears and prepare to escape. Eric returns to the beach to look for Matt, but slips. One earplug falls out and vanishes into the sea, as if pulled by invisible hands. Meanwhile, Paul ties himself to a post inside the house, clutching the stolen painting, hoping the ropes will stop him from being dragged toward the water by the voice. But even the ropes strain as if pulled by some unseen power. In a flashback, we learn Paul had secretly reported Eric to the police before all this, fearing betrayal. But he never imagined something supernatural was waiting here for all of them. At dawn, Paul awakes, dazed, and walks straight toward the sea, the voice calling him like a siren. In the distance, he sees Noah, Pixie, and Opal standing on the water's edge. They're not human. They move like sea nymphs, graceful and deadly. When Paul steps into the water, they pull him under and vanish. Then comes the final twist. Denise is alive, across the sea, limping and bloodied, but breathing. He stumbles home only to find the stolen painting hanging on the wall. Its title, Hylas and the Nymphs, 1896, by J.W. Waterhouse. A depiction of mythic water spirits luring men to their deaths. The screen fades to black.